Hey guys, Jeff here with Passive Income Unlocked, and today I'm going to go over 6 questions that you need to ask yourself when you select a niche for your new site. So niche selection is one of the most important steps, one of the most crucial factors in determining the success of your niche site. So whenever you build a site, you're going to make plenty of mistakes. I know I always make mistakes whenever I start a new site, and that's okay. That's to be expected. But most of those mistakes you can recover from just fine. You can make adjustments as you go, and it's really not going to affect the growth of your site. However, there are a few key things that if you get wrong, can make it really, really difficult to succeed, and selecting your niche is one of them. So with that being said, let's jump into question number 1 that you need to ask yourself when you're selecting a new niche for your site, and that is, what are my goals with the site? So am I building a site for my friends and family, or am I building a site that I want to monetize where I need a lot of traffic to make money? Am I building a site that I want to be passive, where I can just build the content and let it go? Or do I care if it's active, where I have to market the content, or I have to create social media profiles and interact with people all the time? Am I trying to build an affiliate site where I'm pushing offers and I don't need a lot of traffic to make money? Or am I trying to build a display ad site where it's a little bit more hands-off, but I need more traffic to make the same amount of money? So these are the types of questions you need to ask yourself, and the answers to those questions will determine which path you go on in your niche selection. So that brings me to number 2, which is the niche oversaturated? So when you're thinking about the saturation of a niche, all you have to really do is think about where the money is. So are advertisers spending a lot to put ads or products within this niche? If they are, publishers are going to be competing more for space within those niches as well, publishers like us. So whatever's more competitive, there's more money in, and those are the niches that you ideally want to stay away from early on, at least until you really know what you're doing. So some examples would be things like car insurance, healthcare, maybe it's financial sector, things like getting out of debt. So there's going to be a lot of money in those niches, but they're going to be really hard to crack, right? And personally, I think you can crack into just about any niche, but why crack into something that's super difficult when you can go after something much easier instead and still be very successful? So that brings me to number 3, which is, are there problems to solve within the niche? So it doesn't matter what type of site you're building, if it's affiliate based, display ad based, something in between. Almost always, a lot of your content is going to resolve around problem solving. So you're going to have a lot of content on, how do I do this? Can I do this? Is it okay to do this? So you're going to be answering a lot of questions. So you want to see a lot of question-based topics within your niche. So one easy way to figure this out, just go over to answerthepublic.com. That's a site where you can basically put in a search term, you hit enter, and it's going to give you a huge list of question-based keywords around that topic. So for example, if your niche is bicycling, go over to answerthepublic.com, put in the word bike or helmet or kickstand, hit enter, see how many questions come up, take a look at the question, see if they look like valid keywords that you might target with your topic selection. If it feels like there's a lot there's probably enough search volume to go into, and then that might be a good niche for you to go into, or at least look further into and ask yourself more of these questions. So that brings me to the next one. Can the content be easily outsourced? So this one is really dependent on whether or not you want to scale your business. So for my team and I, every single time we select a new niche for a site, one of the first questions we ask is, can we outsource the content? Because our goal with every site is to scale, make it very, very large. We always go very broad with our niche selection. And if you want to scale, you almost have to outsource. It's either outsource or you build a bigger team. But either way, if the content can't be outsourced, you really don't have a good way to scale. And when I say can it be outsourced, I'm saying, does it require specialized knowledge? Does it require technical knowledge? Does it require somebody have to get on the phone to make phone calls or go to physical locations to do research? If any of those things are true, then you're either going to be spending top dollar to outsource that content, or you simply will have to write that content on your own. So again, can this content be easily outsourced? This is only important if you want to monetize your site and if you want to scale to very large numbers. And along the same lines, the next one would be, how much do I know about the niche, or do I know enough about the niche more specifically? So this one doesn't matter if you're outsourcing or writing the content yourself, but you really should have a baseline knowledge of the topics if you want to go into that niche. So here are the reasons why. So let's say you're writing the articles yourself and you don't really know anything about them. So you just go online and start doing some research and you start writing some articles. I've done this plenty of times. 6 months down the road, a year down the road, you start getting comments on your site finally as you're starting to get some traffic, and you get some content saying you absolutely have no idea what you're talking about, this is flat out wrong, and so on. You know, you're using the wrong terminology, you're stating things as facts that really are not true, and you don't know any better because you're just pulling information from the internet. So having that baseline knowledge will prevent you from making those simple mistakes that could completely ruin your site. Same thing when you're outsourcing. If you outsource content, unless you're outsourcing to an expert in the field, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to hop online, they're going to do some research, they might be using the wrong terminology and lingo, and it might take 6 to 12 months before you find out. You finally start getting some comments coming in, and people say, this says 5,000 when it's really supposed to be 500, and maybe that's a typo, but you see it enough times from the same writer, and you know that this person just doesn't know what they're talking about because they don't know anything about the niche. And for you, you're the editor, or whether it's you or you hire an editor, you need to know enough to be able to spot check their work and see that what they're writing about is actually accurate. So again, do I have a baseline knowledge about the niche? If not, yeah, you can succeed. Sometimes it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. And then last on the list here is, can I monetize the content easily? So unless you're trying to write a personal blog where you don't really care about making money, I'm assuming most of you people watching this are like me and you want to make money from your blog or from your websites. And if that's the case, you want to be able to easily monetize your content. That means you don't want to write about things that are like, related to drugs or violence. Topics like those are going to be really hard to monetize because you probably won't get approved by the premium ad networks. There's almost always somebody you can go through to make money, where it's affiliate offers or smaller ad networks with just about any kind of content. However, the premium ad networks are a little bit more selective, so if you go into some of these types of topics, fringe topics, you probably won't get accepted, which means you're getting a lot lower return on whatever you're investing into your site. So ideally, stay away from those sites. Just go with family-friendly content instead. All right, guys, so that's the end of today's list. And I wanted to keep this list short, so I only went over 6 items. However, I actually have an article over on passiveincomeunlocked.com. It's 13 questions to ask yourself, so I have another 7 on this list. And I don't have them in any certain order, so they're all very important. That first one, what are my goals with the niche? That's the most important one. But otherwise, they're all important questions to ask yourself when you're starting a new site. So definitely head over there to see the full list. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you want to be notified of future videos, hit that bell icon. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.